We are, excuse me. Um, uh, I'm sorry, what you sent that
The
message?
MSW and preparing you for the professorate and for research.
Yes. So you're applying for the PhD program, not the DSW, which is Doctor in Social Work. With that in mind, we prepare students or our students to actually conduct research, whether it is a qualitative, quantitative, or mixed methods in any area that are related to social work that has implication for social work. So the purpose is to produce research that will advance the knowledge in social work or a related area in that specific subject. With that said, in the DSW, which we had before, uh, that will be like a professional degree, which is different than the PhD that people become either social work researchers slash educator, university professors, uh, that they still can work with organization as consultant or as probably help them do their own research. So when you come to the program, we will have a dissertation advisor assigned to each one. In fact, the student will choose that advisor that have expertise in their specific area of research. We have mental health, we have child abuse, we have family abuse, we have addiction, gerontology, of course, and a specific area that you want to expand your knowledge and do research, whether it is with African American population, with immigrants, with abused families, or any other population. So your advisor will guide you throughout your dissertation to uh, collect the data, to collect that or develop your literature, uh, put together your research questions, your hypothesis, and then of course guide you toward the putting the best plan for the methodology, which is including the data collection, analysis, and of course writing your final project. Uh, so that will happen starting working on your specific area after you complete the first 2 years, which required courses. And I don't know if we need to talk about these courses. I mean, if you have a question, we'll be happy to answer them. But definitely after your second year, you begin developing in more detail on more specific your research dissertation or research project. Am I, does this answer your question or?
I think it answers the question. There was a question in the chat about whether or not they would have to move to Washington for the program. And I just want to say that right now, COVID-19 has all of our MSW and our PhD courses being held remotely. So they are online. But at this time, we do not offer an online PhD program. So the expectation is that when we are able to be on campus again, that the PhD students would be in the Washington metropolitan area. We would do require the first 2 years or the first 4 semesters, which is in residency, which means it's in the Washington metropolitan area.
Let me just add to that one. Even we are online now, but still we are conducting our courses synchronous. So faculty and students meet on a fixed day and time every week. For example, I teach the statistic course, so we meet every Thursday from 10:30 to 1 o'clock. So the only difference, we are not physically in the School of Social Work, but we are just doing what we are doing right now. So still we'll see everyone. Everyone has to log in at the same time and do the same work as if we were in the classroom.
Are there opportunities to teach while working on your PhD?
Yes, but that happens after you complete the basic requirements, which is the 2-year coursework and passing both qualifying comprehensive exams. So by then we know that you are ready to work with the students. And currently, I think we have 2 or 3 students who are teaching human behavior, I think, policy courses, but they finished all the 2-year requirements. So yes, we do have.
Amani,
Question. Sorry.
someone had a question. Mhm.
Yes, I had a question in regards to that. What if you are already a professor? Like, what if you're already teaching at adjunct? Does that count towards you being able to teach, or you still have to complete your requirements?
Well, that means you are violating what Ms. Gammons said. I mean, we expect people, if they are getting scholarship, financial aid, we expect people not to do any outside work. With that said, I know we have, I think, one student doing during night, evening, junk faculty, but that's has nothing to do with our program. So you still have to go through the 2-year requirements.
I'm seeing a lot of questions in the chat room about different areas of social work, forensic social work, criminal justice, and mental health. And so what I want to do is maybe expound on exactly how a PhD is different from an MSW, because at the master's level, you learn about the problem solving process, and then you have fields of specialty or target populations that you work with. With a PhD, you are really looking at historical context in the area of social work, the direction that social work is going in, all leading up to the research of evidence-based practice that you want to influence in the social work area. So there's not a major or a minor or particular classes. You have what is called, and correct me if I'm wrong, a special interest area. And so if you're looking at a PhD, and then your special interest area would be to focus in forensic social work, or it would be to focus in criminal justice. Dr. Ababe, do you want to expound on that a little bit
Yeah.
more?
So when you get your MSW degree, and depends where, you will have a master's degree in social work. And I know many schools will actually list your concentration as community and organization or direct practice or whatever it is. In social work, PhD, we do not do that. You have basically Doctor of Philosophy, but your special area, that's if you apply for a position or anything, people who will recruit you because of their specific needs.
Hi, Ms. Gammons.
Hello?
Hi, Dr. Abus. Yeah,
Hi.
good afternoon. This is Edward.
Edward, we're not taking questions at this time. So can you just put it, it's good to see you, good to see you. But if you could put that in the chat for us.
So if we, like, for example, we are recruiting faculty for next year, and definitely they have to have a PhD and MSW. But we ask people those who have a PhD, our interest is for someone to teach in the direct practice concentration or to teach in the research sequence, okay? Of course, their degree will not show that this is their PhD will not show that this is their area, but their experience, that's what we are looking for. What they did after they finished the PhD. Did they continue doing research? Did they focus on working with mental health population? So these are the things that we will look for, which is different than the MSW, which there you do your practice. Here you do your research or teach in the classroom.
other questions about the PhD program, about the application process?
Hi, this is Monique Hyde again. I'm just I'm just a little worried because I have a little one and I am interested in getting my PhD. So how is it I don't know, how can you balance gaining your PhD when you have a family that you need to take care of as well?
That's a very good question. We actually have students with their little kids or families, and probably the best. I mean, honestly, when I did my PhD, I had two kids, two little kids, basically like 1 year and 4 years old, and you have to find the time to balance between these two. Of course, if you have full-time job or part-time job and you're doing the school classes or courses and you have a scholarship that you have to do the requirement for that financial aid, that will be too much. So there should be planning. And actually, when we do interview for the applicants, this will be one of the questions that we do ask. How would you balance between your family requirements or need or work and your course load? Now, what we do in the School of Social Work, the first semester, we do not ask students to take 4 courses, which is really high load. We ask them to take only 3 courses. 3 is still high, but not as for the full time for 12 credits, which give them some kind of extra time to do what they have to do, especially since it is the first year or first semester in the school. And of course, we try usually to connect between current students and new students, like good social workers to have like a network or a support group so they can share their experience with regard to any issues related to their being in DC, being in the program, doing extra work, employment. So all these, we try to connect students together.
Okay, and then I see that you guys said that the students would have to live in the metropolitan area of DC. Is there like a stipend program or like some housing program that can assist? Because if we have to, attend full time, that means we can't work a full time job. So how are we going to does the school accommodate any like housing?
Ms. Gammon?
That's a really good question. And, people love you when you graduate high school and you move on to get your undergraduate degree. Everybody wants to give you a little something to help you, you know, get that college education. At the graduate level, you are completely on your own. And so we at the School of Social Work, we have a limited amount of financial support that is available to our students. You asked about residency. I do know that resident life at Howard University, they have some resident assistant programs, which means you would, live in one of the dorms in return for some partial or full tuition and a small stipend. But that's for the residency program. Now, for those who applied by the deadline of December 15th, we work actively with those students who get accepted to find them funding. But the time that it takes for to secure those kind of funding um, for the February 15th deadline really takes you into the next academic year. So if you're coming if you're completing your application February 15th and you want to enroll in the fall 2021 program, that's great. But that funding cycle you will probably be eligible for won't be until that next academic school year.
And one more
Quick
thing,
question. Okay.
you don't have to live on campus the entire PhD program. This only the two, I'm sorry, the 4 semesters when you take classes.
Okay, so but you still just have to live in the DC area for the 2 years while you're attending. But
Why are you taking the required courses? Yes.
okay, so once those are done, like I'm just saying, like, you know, I live in Virginia, so it's kind of part of the DMV area. So I just have to dedicate the 2 years into the Washington area, and then after the 2 years, I can go back to, you know, living back in Virginia.
Well, I mean, if you live in Virginia, that's DC area. So, I mean, the point here is to attend in-person classes. I mean, we don't see how people like living in, for example, South Carolina or other state come every day or every week to the classroom. That's the point.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
I live in Virginia too, actually.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
'Cause, I mean, Northern Virginia, it's kind of more accessible to the DC area, but I'm more
Sure.
in the city of Richmond, so that's gonna take a little bit of time.
Absolutely. I hear you. Yes.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about the importance of residency, it reminds me that with all of these other universities and other institutions providing fully online PhD programs and doctoral programs, um, that is wonderful, and it has its own set of benefits. But for our philosophy at Howard University is that the learning is not only in the classroom, but it's in the networking. It is in the participation of all the other events that happen within the School of Social Work and within Howard University. And you can't be enmeshed into the academia profession if you're not around, if you're only available for, you know, that 3-hour class period and maybe a group assignment. So I hope that sheds some light into.
It absolutely did, and I appreciate the feedback. It's just, you know, I'm just trying to iron out the fear of starting a PhD program, because of course everyone would love to, you know, gain that degree. That's like the top achievement of your lifetime. But I'm just so hesitant with altering my lifestyle and then have to accommodate my toddler. He's 5 years old, and he's very much so involved in his school. I make sure he's involved in like every type of activity and things of that nature, and I want to be there for that, but I also want to gain this for myself. So that these are like the questions that I'm asking is just fear factors of things that,
Monique, you are absolutely right. I mean, family comes first. That's what I say all the time.
Absolutely.
But I think we had a faculty that actually commute from Richmond to DC for a couple of years. I know it is very hard, but I mean, even in Northern Virginia, sometimes it takes me like 1.5 hours to get to DC. It's very bad commute in this area, whether you are in Northern Virginia or a little down, you know, like Woodbridge or the south of Woodbridge. It's still DC area.
Okay, thank you.
I have a question too. I'm an international student originally from Turkey. When it comes to international students, there are different regulations, which is going to be challenging for me. First of all, I want to know like how adequate is the financial aid or funding opportunities for me to live around the area or in Virginia. I just want to know that because it's the most important to me. I am currently in Ann Arbor because I do go to University of Michigan. That's where I'm getting my MSW right now, and it's my last semester. I like have a little bit idea. I am not completely clueless how inadequate or adequate it can be, but still I like to hear from you. And I have the second one. Would you like me to wait for it, or I have a second question. Would you like me to wait for it right now?
Well,
Or
let's answer the first one about financial aid. I know there are some, we did have students, international students from Bangladesh, from Pakistan, from actually, I think we had one from Turkey a few years ago. So we do, and we have applicants who are international right now. I think we have at least 3, 4 international students applying for the program. I know there are some financial aid available for international students, but that's of course competitive one that has to go through a specific process. There is no specific financial aid for international in the School of Social Work, but I'm sorry, Ms. Gammon?
I was going to say you're absolutely right. Not for the School of Social Work. However, the university requires international students to provide a letter of financial guarantee for your first academic year.
Yes. And since you are here, so there are some requirements that do not apply to you, like the TOEFL, for example, because you are attending a US university. And lucky for everyone this year, we are not requiring the GRE, but still I cannot really address the financial aid for a specific group of students because it has to be competitive for everyone.
sure, of course. My second question is, I am currently taking a PhD level social work pedagogy class. In your curriculum, do you have any similar classes to social work pedagogy? If not, what would be the closest curriculum that I can make this type of requirement with?
Is it one course or is it one course, 3 credits?
It's a 3 credit, one course, 800 level.
Okay. We have a social work education course, which is a pro seminar. I will assume this will be equivalent. I don't know what is the syllabus that you have, but if that's not the one, we do have 2 elective courses that you may transfer that as elective course. So
Awesome.
you will not, you still can use it.
Awesome, thank you.
People that we did not hear from.
Hello.
Hello.
This is Edward Anyati. So I'm trying to find out if diversity can be included in dissertation. What I mean is like, if I'm doing my dissertation, can I, base my research on issues around my country of origin, or try to address situations around or improve on situations around my country of origin, or it has to be US based?
I hear you.
Can I bring diversity into my academic?
We welcome diversity. I myself international originally, and actually my dissertation, different university, of course, did it overseas. So as long as the topic is approved by your dissertation advisor, as long as it has implications for social work, as long as it adds to our knowledge, whether it is US knowledge or international knowledge, that will be welcome. So there is no requirement that you will have to do it in US population. Of course, depends on your dissertation advisor who have to look in this, the entire proposal and the population that you're going to submit.
Thank you.
Shalaya Downing, any questions?
No, no questions. Thank you.
You're welcome. Adriana Boston, any questions?
No questions, thank you.
Pamela Graves? questions?
No question. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. No question. Thank you.
Okay. Shelton Young, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions. All of the questions have been posed and responded to that I had. So thank you.
Wonderful. Wendy Benson?
No questions. Thank you.
I have one more question.
Sure.
Okay. So I want to know when are prospective students expected to, or when would it be possible to know the decision regarding the admission process? As in, when would I know if I'm taken into the program or not? You know,
That's a
is there
really
any
good
time?
question. So for our December 15th applicants, everyone should receive notices by February 25th, and they'll get them both via email and mail,
Okay.
snail mail, US mail. And those who apply by February 15th, we should have determinations by March 30th. And again, those notices will go out via email and US postal mail.
Thank you, Ms. Gammons.
You're welcome. Good to see you.
Me too.
I just thought of a question that I would like a little more information about the writing sample that is being requested. I think it's asking for something published or research that's published. Can you elaborate a little more on that?
Well, yes, we would like to see, as a professional researcher, faculty, how do you write for publication? Now, we have people who already, or they send some publication, a research article that has been accepted or published by specific journal like social work journals, sociology, psychology, or whatever journal they have. But this paper should, and actually some people will submit probably a thesis for their master's degree if they do have a thesis, or a good paper they submitted for a specific course in their master's degree. We want to see how they frame their research questions, how they frame their hypothesis if they did that or if they plan to do that, the literature review, and the implication of that paper. So it is academic paper that we are looking for. Did I answer your question?
Okay, so it doesn't have to be published. It just could
Well,
be.
it does not, but of course, you know, if you have a published paper, that's mean you already contributing to the literature and the social work, and that will give you advantage.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I have a question again. I wonder if there's gonna be any interview for the candidates before they get fully admitted to the program.
So the process is, we have a PhD committee, they all review each applicant. They rank them. So if we have, for example, 50 applicants, we'll rank them from 1 to 50. Then if they have a specific, let's say, for example, they think you are in the top 2, 3, they say this candidate is excellent, we should offer that person admission. There are, most of the applicants will definitely go through interview if they are not denied the first time. So there will be some applicants that probably at this year, they still need, like, for example, we have one applicant that's still doing her MSW. So technically she's not graduating until May or June, depends when. And somebody that's been in the field for 5 years and have one publication. So in this case, we will go with the one who has experience, publication, invite them for the interview. And the interview will be conducted by the committee or the PhD committee, which will be, if accepted, your future faculty. Other questions? Any question?
David Springer, questions?
I'm sure you have questions. You can ask. We are here to answer your question.
So some of my concerns would have been about being an international student and also with the
I can't hear. David?
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, yes, sorry about that.
That's
So
okay.
some of my questions were about being an international student and also being an international student with a family. And I just realized from what I'm hearing, I've missed the major funding opportunity. So as we go along with the conversation, I am becoming more and more convinced maybe next year may be a better fit for me in terms of application. So that's basically the idea that I'm getting so far. But the reason why I was asking about the intersection between criminal justice and mental health, well, that's one of the areas I would like to do research in. So I didn't know if you guys had any specific center for research that is based on that or anything like that, because I didn't see it on the website. So that's why I was asking that. And it's not so much about the
we have the E. Franklin Fraser Research Center, which actually can help candidates or students or faculty to develop in more detail their own area of research. So there is no specific center for your specific, the criminal justice, and I think you said mental health, right? So, but your advisor, and definitely we have faculty who are expert in these areas. And the E. Franklin Fraser Center probably can work with you to develop more your area. The other center that we have, I mentioned this before, that the Gerontological Research Center, which that focused with gerontology and old population.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you, David. I think we did not hear from some people, right?
Correct.
Did we hear from Shelton?
I don't think so.
I mentioned that you guys did a great job of answering the questions that I had. Other people had already posed them.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. So if you don't have questions, let me just say in general how the 2-year look like. We have 4 semesters. The first semester has 9 credits that everyone has to take. Those all are required courses. 3 courses. The second semester requires 4 courses. 2 are within the School of Social Work, and 2 will be 1 elective and 1 special, excuse me, special interest area. You can, for example, David went to criminal justice and mental health. If he finds a course in, let's say, the School of Psychology or medical school or other school in Howard, that's okay. They can take that as long as they are graduate level, PhD graduate level courses. The third semester, now by the end of the second year, there will be a qualifying exam that will examine all students, first year students, and everything they covered during the first year. Once they pass that, they move to the second year, which is the third semester. Again, 4 courses, 2 required and 1 elective and 1 special interest area. Of course, these are required, but you can choose your special interest area course. And the 4th semester, same exact thing, same plan. By the end of the 4th semester, now you are ready to do the last exam, which is comprehensive exam, which will examine students in social work education, research and advanced statistics, social work, community and organization, and their special interest area. You complete all these, now you can move back to Monique, we said in Richmond, you can go back to Richmond and you start working on your dissertation or proposal with your faculty. So the maximum that you can be in the School of Social Work, actually, I should say the graduate school, because we are part of the graduate school, is up to 7 years. So students are must complete everything by the end of the 7th year. Of course, we would like to see 3 to 4 years, but maximum probably 5 years. But we know not everyone is doing the same, depends on if they have full-time job, family requirement, all this. So we say, okay, you have 2 more years to complete that. But the maximum is 7 years for PhD graduation. Any question about this general outline for the 2 years and the
Yes,
PhD?
this is Edward again. Is it possible to complete the PhD in like 2 to 3 years, like the MSW program?
You cannot, no way you can complete in 2 years. Because the
how
2
about 3?
years, 3 years now, I would love to see that you complete in 3 years, and I will give you my award for that.
I will do that.
I did my PhD University of Utah in 3 years.
I
Now,
will do that.
okay, that's excellent. I mean, if you, for those who are international, they know, or the policies or the laws here for the migration, that you must maintain full-time student status.
Yeah,
So that will push you to do what you have to do.
yeah, I did full time in my MSW.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
So we'll
And
look
I
for
was still
that.
in
We'll see.
Howard.
Okay.
Just another quick question, please.
Yes.
Do you prefer international students to have F1 or J1 visa status? And if it's J1, do you guys do visas transfer of sponsorship?
I really don't think, I mean, all students coming for J1, I believe that there should be an organization that sponsors you. I don't think Howard does that. F1, this is the status for students and their families if they approved, yes. But we have international office that can answer more about these questions once the person is admitted into the program.
Great, thank you.
And we are also going to send out the replay of the full PhD overview that really gets into the details of each semester, the dissertation process going into candidacy, and what that actually, what each of those steps are and what is required.
Now, how many of you started the application process?
Application process for what? Is it for
the PhD?
I've
started
completed
them on
mine.
it now.
Okay, good.
Submitted everything by December 15th, so I should be hearing soon.
Yeah, I completed mine by December 15, and every document has been sent to Howard and acknowledged by Howard.
Okay. So for those who still working that, we have until February 15. So it is 10 days. And definitely make sure all transcripts, letters of references, essay, if you have a publication that you want to submit as part of your application, that would be great. And there's one more thing, Ms. Gammons, what is it? The personal statement, okay? And of course, your CV.
And I will send a checklist out to you as well.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if there was gonna be like a checklist sent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I know I'm not going to submit an application for this year, but hopefully next year, being that all of this information that I gathered today was very, very helpful. I will know how to arrange my lifestyle a little bit to, make myself more available to be dedicated for this program. So again, I thank you so much for the information.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Monique. Thank you, everyone. But we still hear other questions. I mean, that's why we are doing this Q&A session.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I apologize for my delay. I had to leave a meeting to come here. My name is Dwayne James. I'm based in Brooklyn, New York. I just had one quick question, and forgive me if somebody has already asked it, but could you maybe speak a bit about teaching opportunities that might come up for PhD students if admitted? Is that a possibility, or is that something that is considered?
Yeah, that was asked and we answered it, but I will answer it again.
Thank
That
you.
is possible when after you finish the 2 years that I just outlined. So once you finish all the coursework, qualifying exam, comprehensive exam,
Mhm.
and you pass all these, now if a faculty is interested or want to work with you as their TA, that is a possibility, yes.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay.
Okay, well, thank you all for joining us today. We're going to send everyone who registered for this a replay of the session along with the checklist and other links that you might find helpful. So thank you so much. Please remember to take care of yourselves, wear your mask, wash your hands.
Thank
And
you
we will
all.
see
And
you
yep.
The next time. Take
And
care,
stay
everyone.
safe, please. Thank you all.
Thank you, Ms. Gammons.
You're welcome.
Ms. Gammon, can you wait a second, please?
Yes.